Take two. This is Stephen, the Disney Drago Robinson. You're watching the one and only Sport Icon. Bow!
Okay, so the IBF are kicking off 2023 with their new rankings. This video, of course, when we're talking about the heavyweight division. I've already done the WBA and the WBO this month. We're still waiting on the WBC. They haven't updated their rankings since the middle of November. What's taken them so long? No idea. Anyway, if you are new to this channel, firstly, welcome. Please click that subscribe button. It's free, it's brilliant, and you learn something every day. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Nobody else here on YouTube is doing these ranking videos. Always good to know what's happening in the heavyweight division. Anyway, I'm going to go through the top 15, see what changes have been made compared to last month, what fights recently happened, what fights are coming up, and we'll have a little bit of a chat about it. So, Oleksandr Usyk is the IBF heavyweight world champion. Unified as well, Usyk also holds the WBO and the WBA. Number 1 is the mandatory challenger, Filip Hrgovic. Number 2, bizarrely, vacant. Number 3, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 4, Deontay Wilder. Number 5, Anthony Joshua. Number 6, Martin Bakole. Number 7, Frank Sanchez. Number 8, Ajit Kabiel. Number 9, Tony Yoka. Number 10, Dillian Whyte. Number 11, Dempsey McKean. Number 12, Otto Wallin. Number 13, Murat Gassiev. Number 14, Charles Martin. And number 15, King Kong, Luis Ortiz. So that's top 15 to kick off January 2023 from the IBF. Now, no great changes really compared to last month, although Dempsey McKean, he's been boosted by 4 positions. Why? Don't know. Of course, he did fight not so long ago in his home country of Australia. Of course, he got the win there, so maybe. And Dempsey McKean, of course, is a potential opponent for Anthony Joshua next. Potentially. Now, a couple of things that I think I want to point out in this one, which is Tony Yoka, for example, is number 9. Now, last time he fought was against Martin Bakole, correct? He hasn't had a fight since, has he? And where he got battered in that fight. Literally lost pretty much every single round and got bounced around a little bit. So I think number 9 is a little bit high. That's for sure. Now, you've got number 3 and number 4, Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz Jr. Looks like they're going to be fighting soon. I believe an announcement is imminent. So them two getting it on, that's great, but of course that's the WBC route. It's got nothing to do with the IBF, so in some ways it's a bit of a waste of a ranking, in some ways, but it's an interesting fight, why not? Number 3 versus number 4 in the IBF, get it on. Filip Hrgovic, number 1, also a potential opponent for Anthony Joshua next as well. He is the IBF mandatory challenger. He is in line to fight the winner of Fury and Usyk, but not until the WBA is completed, which is currently Daniel Dubois. So Filip Hrgovic, he's got time to have another couple of fights, you would imagine. In fact, he probably won't get his shot until probably early to mid next year, really. So there are talks that he could be fighting Anthony Joshua. Of course, when I done an interview with Kalle Sauerland only a few weeks ago, this was something that we spoke about. Number 6, Martin Bakole. It's a decent position for him. It is. I'd like to see him active this year. I would. That win over Tony Yoka was fantastic, and I really want to see him bounce back. Of course, he has said he wants the Michael Hunter rematch. That'd be interesting. Why not? I want to see him fight people in the top 15 now. A win over Tony Yoka solidifies Martin Bakole, I think. Unless, of course, Tony Yoka was overrated, which I don't particularly think so. But Martin Bakole was just too good for him. He really was. Number 14, Charles Martin. He is former IBF World Heavyweight Champion. Of course, he's a guy who Anthony Joshua beat for that particular belt. But number 14, is he a top 15 fighter? I'm not too sure he is. No, he did well against Luis Ortiz, but Luis Ortiz is shot. He's been shot for a long time. So I think number 14 is a little high. I'm hearing that at some point next week, we could be hearing the new opponent for number 10, Dillian Whyte. Now, Dillian hasn't told me who, just that Apparently, we could be finding out next week, potentially at least. Anyway, we'll have to wait and find out. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully, it's going to be somebody in the top 15, whether it's IBF or another sanctioning body. Of course, Dillian is still ranked in the WBC and what have you. Number 12, Otto Wallin. Again, another potential Anthony Joshua opponent. Anthony Joshua has a lot of potential opponents, doesn't he? Could well have a busy 2023, Anthony Joshua. But Otto Wallin, number 12. If he doesn't fight Anthony Joshua, again, let's maybe Dillian Whyte. Why not? Maybe a Martin Bacoli or whoever. I want to see him fight somebody in the top 15 of any sanctioning body. That would be fantastic. Number 15, Luis Ortiz. I don't think he should be there at all. As I said, I think he's well and truly shot now. In fact, he's been shot for quite some time. But maybe him versus a Derek Chisora. Loser retires, winner stays on for another fight or so. But anyway, that is the top 15 for the IBF for the month of January in 2023. Do you like it? Do you agree with it? Now, of course, a vacant position, number 2, that's usually vacant at number 1 while they wait for a mandatory challenger. Now they have the mandatory challenger, they don't really need to have number 2 vacant because there's no final eliminators, unless, of course, you're going to have one to potentially fight Filip Hrgovic if Filip Hrgovic is going to be waiting quite a long time for his title shot. Maybe that's why number 2 is vacant. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see. What do you think of this top 15? I think it's okay. Ain't great. And again, we're never going to agree with every single position. For me, there's quite a few fighters who should be in there. And I know each and every video, people will say things like, why is Tyson Fury not there, for example? Well, he's WBC heavyweight world champion, so of course he won't be ranked here. Joe Joyce is WBO interim world heavyweight champion, so he won't be here. Dan Dubois is the WBA regular world heavyweight champion, so he won't be here either. Okay, anyway, my thoughts, you drop me yours, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.